I switched my mother-in-law's secret gravy mix for the store-brand box after she told the whole Thanksgiving table she never uses a shortcut. My sister-in-law found the empty box in my trash and read the brand name out loud before dessert. My mother-in-law Diane has been making Thanksgiving gravy for 31 years, and she will absolutely tell you that if you give her 3 seconds and a reason, the gravy is her thing. It's from her grandmother's recipe. It's slow cooked. It's built from pan drippings and patience and whatever else she says differently depending on who's asking. Every year she stands at that stove for what she claims is 45 minutes, stirring, tasting, adjusting. Every year the whole table watches like they're seeing something sacred. I've been married to her son for 4 years. The first Thanksgiving I was there, she handed me a dish towel and pointed at the sink. So I've spent 4 years drying dishes while she performs at the stove. Last year I was in the kitchen getting ice when I saw it. She was alone, back to the doorway, and she had a box of Willow Creek brown gravy mix, the kind that costs like $2.49 at any grocery store, and she was dumping it into the pot with some drippings, whisking it fast. Then she slid the empty box inside a folded paper bag and shoved it under a salad bowl. I stood there for a second. Then I got my ice and left. I thought about saying something, but then I thought about 4 years of dish towels and being talked over at her table, and the time she told my husband loud enough for me to hear that she wished he'd married someone who actually knew how to cook. So I didn't say anything. I just remembered. This year I offered to help set up the day before. She said yes because she needed someone to do the floors. While I was there, I found her stash. She keeps 3 boxes of Willow Creek on the top shelf of the pantry behind a bag of breadcrumbs, which is a lot of backup gravy mix for someone who doesn't use a shortcut. I took all 3 boxes home with me. On my way back Thanksgiving morning, I stopped at Harmon's and grabbed 2 boxes of their store brand, the 1.29 ones with the orange label. I put them on her top shelf where the Willow Creek had been, tucked behind the breadcrumbs in exactly the same way. Then I went and set out the napkins. Dinner went the way it always goes. Diane cooked. Diane narrated the cooking. Her daughter Becca kept drifting in to say things like, "It smells so good in here, Mom." My husband helped his dad carry the leaf table in from the garage. I moved serving dishes around and got told twice I was putting the cranberry sauce on the wrong side. Then Diane brought out the gravy. She set it down and my father-in-law said what he always says, which is that nobody makes gravy like she does. She waved it off and said, "Oh, it's nothing. It's just how my grandmother taught me. I don't even measure anymore." Then Becca said, "I don't know how you do it, Mom. Honestly, I could never." And Diane said, "And I want to be clear that nobody asked her. This was completely unprompted. The secret is I never take shortcuts. Everything from scratch every single year. That's why it tastes different than what you get out of a box." I took a bite of my roll. About an hour later, Becca started helping clear plates. She's not a bad person. She just does whatever makes her mother happy. She was gathering napkins and taking them out to the trash in the garage when I heard her stop. There was the sound of paper rustling. Then she came back in. She stood in the doorway holding the orange Harmon's box. She didn't say it mean, she just looked genuinely confused. She turned it over, read the back, and then said, out loud, to everyone still sitting there with their coffee and pie plates, "Mom, why is there a Harmon's store brand gravy mix in the trash? Did someone bring this?" Diane went still. Becca read the front of the box again. "Harmon's brown gravy mix, serves 8. She looked up. "Is this what the gravy was?" The table went quiet in that specific way where everyone suddenly finds something very interesting about their fork. My father-in-law looked at his empty gravy boat. My husband looked at me. I looked at Diane. She said, "Someone must have thrown that away by mistake. That's not what I used." I picked up my coffee cup and said, weird." Diane looked at me for a long second. I looked back. Becca set the box down on the sideboard like she didn't quite know what to do with it and said, "Diane said she was going to start on the dishes," and went into the kitchen. My father-in-law followed her. Then it was just me and my husband and Becca and a Harmon's gravy box sitting on the sideboard next to the leftover pie. My husband said quietly, "How's your pie?" I said. He looked at me for another second. Then he picked up his fork.